All right, good morning. Uh, I'd like to call a meeting to order and acknowledge that we are in Treaty 1 territory, the home and traditional lands of the Anishinaabe, Ojibwe, Indian Cree, and Dakota peoples, and the national homeland of the Red River Métis. Our drinking water comes from Shoal Lake 40 First Nation and Treaty 3 territory. My name is Neil Harden. I'm chairing today's panel, and with me via Zoom are Kent Seelan and Diane Knight. The assessor today is Darren Ducharme, and the recording secretary is Belhin Rojo. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment rule in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we'll limit discussion to those matters. The statements that I made at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the board. The board is appointed annually by council and is independent of it in the city administration and makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that may be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of King's Bench if the matter pertains to the applications of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the point of appeal with your property to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony followed by questions the applicant may have, then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application be brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today. The session will close after all the applications have been heard, and the board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You'll receive the board's decision by registered mail as soon as possible. As information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. We'll be hearing items 1 through 10 on the docket today. Ms. Rojo, please affirm the assessor's and applicant's testimony.
Mr. Assessor, please state your full name.
Darren Charles Ducharme.
And do you affirm the evidence you present that this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Applicant, please state your full name.
Henry Dupont.
And do you affirm the evidence you present that this hearing is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right. Good morning, gentlemen. The first item on today's docket is 507 Alice Avenue. So, Mr. Ducharme, you can begin.
Thank you. The file number is 22-1409. Roll number 130-514-85000. The address is 507 Alice. For the roll year 2023 with a reference date April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value of $242,000. The parcel use is CMRST. Zoning is C2. We have a gross floor area of 594 square feet. And this property has outdoor parking stall count of 15. Our recommendation is to maintain the 2023 assessed value. On page 2 of my brief, we have a few aerial photos of the subject property located at 507 Alice between Young and Spence in close proximity to Alice. In the bottom photos, you'll note the commercial building is relatively small with the remainder operating as a parking lot, which services the University of Winnipeg. On page 3, at the top is a photo of the subject property facing Alice. And on the bottom, we have a street view photo of the subject from a back alley, showing mainly the parking lot. On page 4, the request for information and subject sales history, which there are no sales history for the subject property. On page 5, we have our rent comparables for the subject property. All comparables have the same parcel use code and zoning as the subject. Comparables 1 and 3 are relatively close in area to the subject property, which is relatively small. The comparables provided have effective years that are older than the subject. The mean rent of the comparables provided is $14.31 per square foot, and a median of $13.38, which is in support of our model rent rate of $12.65 per square foot. Page 6, we have the subject property income summary. We have a leasable area, 594 square feet. We've applied a rent of $12.65 per square foot. Giving a potential rent of $7,514. We have a vacancy of 6%, expenses at 3%, shortfall at $7 per square foot, giving a net operating income of $6,602. We've applied a 6.35% cap rate, giving an estimated value of $104,000 rounded. On page 7, we have our income stream parking lot summary. We have a stall count of 15. We've applied a monthly net rent of $38.25 per stall, giving a net operating income of $6,885. We've applied a cap rate of 5%, giving an estimated value of $138,000. Below are some parking lot comparables for rental rates for the subject property. These comparables are in close proximity to the subject property and are in support of our model rents. In fact, I do believe our model is underestimating the value of the parking lot when looking at these comparables, as well as the actual of the subject property. On page 8 is the income value summary of both income streams. We have a total potential rent of $14,399. We have a vacancy 3.13%, expenses at 1.52, a shortfall at $13.36, giving a net operating income of $13,487 and a cap rate of 5.58, giving an estimated market value of $242,000. Page 9, we have our capitalization rate chart. You'll note that the 6.35% cap that's applied to the improvement for the retail stream falls between the low and high ends for all reports for retail. Page 10 is our Municipal Assessment Act excerpts. Pages 11 through 16 are the 2020 income and expense mailers that were returned for the subject property. And that would conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Mr. Dupont?
Yes, so where's your evidence on the cap rate? It's just on page 9, is that correct?
Yes.
And the subject for retail fits under strip, I guess, STP?
I say more regional.
It's under regional. So it ranges from 610 to 7.2.
Correct.
And the brokers are 6 to 650, I guess. The subject is in the interior area on Ellis. Would you agree to that?
Yes.
So would you agree that they should have a higher cap rate or be at the high end of your cap rates?
No, I wouldn't.
And it's tenants is a small hair salon, so it's a low quality tenant. So would that not affect the cap rate also?
It is a single tenant, yes.
As far as rents, the subject is actually rented for lower than the what you have it assessed at. So would you not consider the actual rent?
We look at the comparables. It is considered, but we feel a better representation would be the comparables in the market.
So questions I have.
Okay, any questions, Kent?
Have you inspected this property by chance?
I didn't for this for the hearing. No, I haven't in the past either.
I'm sorry, you haven't in the past?
No, I haven't been there in the past either.
You haven't been there in the past. That's all my questions at this time, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
On the mailer on page 11, it says the leasable area is 412 square feet. And you're using 594. Do you know what the difference is?
We're using the gross area. We feel it is a single tenant. And so we think we feel the gross area would apply. So there's no other tenant in regards to a common area.
So is there a basement or something here that maybe?
No.
No? Okay,
We're just using a gross area. I do have, some evidence, like field forms that, and sort of, I view sort of that confirm the gross area, but there's no.
no,
basement.
that's okay. Thank you.
There was and it's very small addition in 1985. That might be the difference that hadn't been considered. I'm not sure.
Is that in your pictures here?
I don't know. It's kind of
It's kind of hard to see where an addition
yeah,
would be.
it all looks like one kind of unit. It's more towards the addition was kind of towards the back alley, at the back of the property. It was very small. It was like a 4-foot by 22-foot addition in 1985.
Okay,
Actually, I haven't determined what that would work out to be honest.
okay. 4 foot by 22.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay, just looking at your rent comparables, there are two that are on Academy Road, one on Kennedy and one on McPhillips. It looks to be somewhere around Northgate. Aren't those kind of like superior locations to the west end there?
Yeah, I would think that might be fair, yeah. That they would be a little better. It was very, with the CMRSTs, it was very difficult, especially with this size property, but to find good comparables, but especially when they're small, but CMRST in particular was difficult to find comparables, I agree.
Okay, and your cap rate for the building 6.35, which seems to be kind of, if you're saying you're applying regional, that's certainly a lot closer to the 20th percentile than it is to the 80th. What makes this kind of like an above average property?
Well, if we look at the overall property in general, with a large land to building ratio, in terms of the depreciation for improvements, it's not as there's not as much depreciation in regards to the overall when you consider the property as a whole.
But the parking lot is captured with the 5% cap rate you're applying. So, I mean, we're simply looking at a small hair salon in the West End here.
Right. Yeah. It is on the low end of this chart.
Okay. Thank you. Henry, you can proceed with your presentation then.
Okay, so the first page, you'll see that we don't dispute the parking. So it's 138 and our value is 138,000 also. So we dispute the hair salon portion only. We have the photo, so it's a small, plain little building. Then the map would be page 8, the aerial photo, which you saw already, and then the map, Google Map, shows where it is. So it's close to the University of Winnipeg. And then below that on page 9, it shows where it is with the buildings on each side. And there's a Why Not Foods, a small grocery store. When my son went to university, he said that they tended to avoid that store because it was a dangerous place to go. So this is not that good of an area. Now we can go to the appendix. So page 21, that's the assessor's valuation. And at the bottom, they shows the square footage, 594. And then page 22 shows usually the year built. And it shows 1977, 594 square feet. So the does not show an addition or a different year built. The questionnaires, which you probably saw also on the assessor's brief, is on page 26. So they show $400 rent per month. And that was actually extended to December 2021. So we checked that, and that the rent continued there. It shows 412 square feet. Now, whether it's 594, 412, the square footage doesn't matter that much. It's the amount of rent. So they're paying 4,400 per month, 4,800 per year. So if we can go to our income approach, we do have the cap rate evidence starting page 14. We have page 15, we have 13 comparables. We show what the cap rates are for that. Then our conclusion on page 16 for the cap rate. If we use a 5% non-recoverable, which we use, the cap rates are the top quality 6.25 to 6.75, standard 6.75 to 7.25, and retail low quality 7.5 to 8. And if we don't use non-recoverable, it makes those cap rates higher because we calculated those comparables using 5% non-recoverable. So based on that, as we apply the cap rate 7.5, so which would be the low end of the retail low quality. So the page 18 is our brief, the income approach part. So we applied the rent of 4,800, which comes to 1165 per square foot on the 412 square feet, and that goes to 2021. The city also sends questionnaires on COVID, and they replied in the far right my comments that there was COVID closure and they paid rent for 38 weeks in 2020 only. So we're not asking for any consideration for the fact that they closed for a lot of the 2020 due to COVID. So we apply the same vacancies, the assessor 6%. The assessment shown at the bottom also, they're using 594 square feet, 1265 rent, the 6% vacancy, which we use, the shortfall 7%, which we used, and that cap rate 6.35. And so we use the 5%, we call it management, but it's actually non-recoverable expense. We have a full report on that. The amount is relatively small, but it's built into our cap rate. So our cap rate indicates that this low quality would be 7.5 to 8. So based on our cap rate, where we use the non-recoverable as part of the cap rate calculation, we believe that we should be using the shortfall, the management non-recoverable also. Anyways, by applying the 7.5 cap rate, we get a value of 54,000. That would be my submission.
Okay, questions, Mr. Ducharme?
I do not have any questions, thank you.
Okay, Kent, questions?
Sure. Have you inspected this property recently?
No, I have not.
You haven't, okay. That's all my questions. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
Even though you haven't inspected the property, do you have any interior pictures to show the lower quality of the building?
No, it's a small property, it's a hair salon in the West End, so it would not be a luxury hair salon
Mhm.
due to location, etc. So it's more the exterior and the package, 400 or 600 square feet. So we say it's lower quality. Part of it's just the tenant type of tenant it has. It's a local hair salon, so it's not a national or high quality tenant.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I have no questions on this, so thank you very much. We'll move on to 635 Portage, and I understand there's a non-co-op requested on this. So Mr. Dersheim, please read in the tombstone data and then proceed in the non-co-op.
Okay, thank you. This file number is 22-870. The roll number is 130-502-83000. The address 635 Portage Avenue. The roll year for the roll year 2023 with a reference to April 1st, 2021. We have an assessed value of 216,000. The parcel use is CMRSD, zoning is C2, and we have a leasable area of 1,980 square feet. Our recommendation is to maintain the 2023 assessed value due to non-compliance. There's a history of non-compliance for this subject. We've not received anything for 2016, 17, 19, and 2020. I'll take you to page 8 of my brief. This is a copy of the electronic signature card from Canada Post. We see the item number, the delivery date, June 10th, 2021, which was the second mailing with the original going out April 15th. And where there's a signature in this instance, Canada Post was unable to get a signature. And in these instances, we're provided with a delivery confirmation reports, which is on the next page, page 9. Here we have the delivery confirmation from Canada Post. Same tracking number. Was delivered June 10th at 2:26 p.m. and delivered to the recipient's front door. So this delivery confirmation, along with the fact that the mail was not returned, is sufficient for us to deem that the request was delivered and received. This aligns with the legislation in the City of Winnipeg Charter regarding notice by mail. Specifically, Section 117(2) states, City of Winnipeg deems mail to be received on the third day after it is received. Page 10 is our instructions for completing the questionnaire that went out. Page 11, our legislative authority information that went out. Page 12 and 13, the cover letter that was sent out to the address noted, 428 Lamont. And pages 14 through 18 consist of the blank income and expense, the rent roll and COVID questionnaires, which were not returned. That would conclude my presentation for non-compliance. Thank you.
Okay, questions, Henry, on non-compliance?
I don't dispute non-compliance.
Okay. Non-compliance undisputed. All right, any questions, Kent, on the non-compliance?
Just a question. So there's no signatures on this because they weren't able to get any signatures for the delivery. Is that correct?
Sorry,
So-
there's no signature.
No, because they weren't able to get any. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, Diane?
Do we know if 428 Lamont Boulevard is still the correct address for this investment company?
Yes, well, that's what the records we have on file, yes.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I have no questions. I guess we're going to have to recess briefly to consider the non-co-op. So we'll take a brief recess. All right, thank you very much. The board has considered the request for non-co-op, and we're going to grant the request. So Mr. Dupont, that means you proceed on value. Are you muted, Henry?
Now you can hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So the first page, we're asking for 91,000 and we show the building, it's sandwiched between two other buildings beside it. It's 20 feet wide, so it's not a good property to be developed. It's very, very small. And then we show the properties, the next photos, properties near there, so that they're all older properties. The property next door, Natcom, and that's the old typewriter company they had there. Not that doing that well there. Then we have the rear photos, shows what it looks from the rear, so that the exterior doesn't look too good. And then we have the aerial photos to where it is. Footage. Now, I did inspect this property. It's been my client since 1991 when I started. We've done appeals all along. It's never been rented at any high rents. They used to have a repair shop for typewriters and office equipment there for a while, and now they're down to stores that small, low quality used stuff or whatever, so that it's it does not attract a very high tenant this particular area. The appendix, if you can go there, page 25. So we don't have the questionnaires for 2020 from the assessor's website because we believe the owner did not fill them out. So we have the 2018 questionnaires. It shows a rent there, $12,971. And the owner pays for insurance and repair maintenance. You can see they have these two expenses. And the page 27, which is the rental page, it shows it's the White Cross Guild of the HSC, 1980 square feet at $1080.95 per month, and that comes to the figure of $12,971 that they have on the first page. Then after that, we have the questionnaire dated June 30th, 2021. Same income, same expenses, insurance, repair, maintenance, and page 31 is the same rent that they has. So we could go back to our income page. So for cap rate, we have same evidence, so that the retail low quality, we have 7.5 to 8. At the income page, page 19. So the building is built in 1948, small 20-foot wide building, sandwiched between two buildings. The rent that they're getting comes to $655 per square foot. The unrecovered expense is $374 per square feet. So the net rent is $281 per square foot. And we allow $5 market rent, which is higher than what they're actually getting. We show the middle of the page on the right side, we show the expenses, the income, and for 2018, 2021, we show the expenses. have insurance, repair, maintenance, taxes. They reported 6,762 net income, 342 per square foot. There would be management on top of that, 33 cents. Total expense would be 374. That's how we calculated the expenses. The NOI that declares 5,560. If you look at the just one couple lines up on the middle of the page, we stabilize at 81.95, which is higher than the actual received. After we allow for shortfall, in this case, we're not allowing non-recoverable. We're just going with a high cap rate of 9%. And we're saying due to age, the fact it's a 20-foot lot, poor finish. When I did inspect in the past, it had a very poor finish. And now that they have tenants that sell used goods or budget type goods, I don't believe that they would have fixed it up. We show 2023 at the bottom what the assessor had, which was some in the quarter cap rate, 914 rent, and 2020 was 830 rent and 8% cap rate, and the Board of Revision confirmed that it was 180. 2018, the assessor had 7.5 cap rate, 871 rent, and the board went down to 165 at 760 rent and 7.5 cap rate. That's the past. We're asking for lower than that. We don't believe that we should be giving more than $5 rent, which is higher than what they're actually getting. If ever they find a really good tenant and they can get $9 rent, I would suggest the assessor could catch it the next reassessment, but it's not getting that, and it deserves a higher cap rate. Thank you. That's my report.
All right. Any questions, Mr. Ducharme?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, Kent, any questions?
Yes, you mentioned that you're using a $5 per square foot rent. What are they actually getting based on your information?
It shows they're getting $655 base rent. That's the gross or semi-gross rent. But after applying $274, they're getting $281 per square foot. So that's what we have worked out.
Thanks for reconfirming. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
No, sir.
Henry, you were going to say something there?
The questionnaire is 2018. I said it was too expensive there. Actually, the taxes are shown there on page 25 that the owner pays the taxes on top of that. So there's 3 expenses that are not paid. And that's what I show in the body of my report, my income approach. But when I went over the questionnaires, I forgot to mention taxes were paid by a landlord.
Okay. All right, I have no questions. So Mr. Ducharme, you can begin with your presentation.
Thank you. Again, I'll start with page 2. So we have the top photo is an area view of the subject property, while the bottom photo is a street view photo of the subject property. Page 3, we have our request for income information. And below that, subject sales history. There is the sale in 2009 was a multi-role sale involving another property. Page 4, we have our rent comparables, which have the same parcel use and zoning as the subject. I'd say comparable 1 at 1375 Portage is very similar to the subject property in that it is also a long, thin building. That's very similar to the subject. It is also about 20 feet wide. It's also on Portage and is of similar size. And this would be the best comparable, which is in support of our model rent at $9.14 per square foot. On page 5, we have our subject property income summary. We have a leasable area of 1,980 square feet. We've applied a rent of $9.14 per square foot. giving a potential rent $18,097. We have vacancy at 6%, expenses at 3%. Shortfall $7 per square foot, giving a net operating income of $15,669. Applying a cap rate of 7.25 gives us an estimated value of $216,000 rounded. Page 6, we have our capitalization rate chart, which is above the high end for retail for all reports. Page 7, we have our Municipal Assessment Act excerpts, and then the continue was the non-compliance. So that would end my presentation.
Okay, questions, Mr. Dupont?
1375 Portage isn't that near Pull Apart?
It's getting close, yes.
And Ness is not near the subject at all whatsoever. So you don't have any comparables at Portage near the subject.
Well, I guess it depends what you call near, but yeah, it's about 2.5 kilometers away.
That's all questions I have.
Okay, Kent, any questions?
Sure, this is all model driven.
Yes, yes.
Have you been out to inspect the property at all yourself?
I haven't been for the hearing, no.
Has anyone been to inspect the property?
We've had no recent inspections of the property, no.
Thanks very much. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair.
All right, Diane, any questions?
My questions have been asked and answered. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. I have no questions on this one. So we will go to 644 Brunel. Let me open the files here. Okay, 644 Brunel. I understand the issue in dispute is a classification and liability that Henry, you're not disputing the valuation, are you?
Oh, let me pull my report. No, we're not disputing that. So it's strictly a classification.
Okay, Mr. Descharme, can you then start off with the tombstone information and the value, and then we will go to Henry on the class and liability.
Certainly. File number 22-1266. The roll number is 130-301-52000. The address 644 Burnell Street. For the roll year 2023 with a reference date April 1st, 2021. We have an assessed value of $833,000. The parcel use is CMRST. We have zoning C1, a leasable area of 9,057 square feet. And our recommendation is to maintain the 2023 assessed value.
All right, now on class and liability, Henry, you have the onus, so you can proceed.
Okay. We'll go with the first page, the photo. It shows it's a Sergeant MCC to Mennonite Central Committee thrift shop. And the second photo shows the rear of the building. Then we show another photo where it's right beside Dairy Queen on Burnell. Another photo from the lane, and again the two photos in the lane. You can go to the appendix. Now Altus has been to the board before with the MCC thrift shops, and we have gotten the classification approved. And this is the similar data that we have given for other properties at the Board of Revision. And it shows that they celebrating 50 years. The first page 27, it's a network of nonprofit thrift shops. We support the local global relief development peace projects of Mennonite Central Committee. Then page 28, it's a decision in January of 2023 for the Brooklands MCC Community Assistance Center. So the same type of thrift shop. It's also called MCC Community Assistance. And the bottom of the shows that they went from CC 60 to 40 institutional property, taxable school exempt, same value. Then page 30, there was the Kildonan MCC Community Assistance. That also in January 2023 on 419 Chalmers. And the decision shows it went from CC 60 to taxable school exempt. Then we have the decision from municipal board, page 32, in regards to giving the to support these properties. And that's the it shows the property on page 34, also for same areas, etc. I believe we have highlighted some of the areas here, which I have to find. Page 16 of the board decision, so page 47. They have a definition of premises. I'm not sure this addresses the issue of that we have.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
trying to see the relevance of that.
Yeah, I got that from a previous report, and and there's a Court of Queen's Bench decision. Following that, there again, there should be highlighted sections. Page 57. Given jurisprudence, discuss seminary of learning. It's for well, the nature, primary purpose, law society, etc. Uses is shown. I'm going through it again, some more. Anyway, so they went to court on that, and they said the law society was allowed to be exempt, school exempt. Then there's another decision, page 72. Oh, that's the law society again. Okay, so that the board has found, the board of revision has found similar properties, and the one decision, Mr. Harden was the chair of that decision. So that would be my submission, that the classification should be changed.
Okay, questions, Mr. Ducharme?
No questions. I guess a response. But no offense.
Okay, you'll be given an opportunity for your response afterwards. So Kent, any questions on this?
So this community assistance center is does teaching and things like that as well.
No, I believe just a thrift store. It's nonprofit. For the money's I guess used for charitable purposes. This oh, I see. And page 13 shows that recognize. Yeah, I didn't go through that. So if you go search the Government Canada for charities, the West End MNCC is registered charity. Charity type, relief of poverty, and it has the address 644 Burnell. Yeah, that was on page 14. I skipped that. And the ongoing programs on page 15 is relieving poverty by providing new and used donated goods via sale or gifting to low-income individuals, funding or assisting organizations or qualified donees, including MCC, Manitoba. Yeah, that's part of the brief, I guess. I forgot I had put it there.
Awesome. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
So you're referring to the 23-1, is that correct? I'm just trying to find it in the municipal board thing. Something in your presentation there said 23-1, that's what I'm asking.
Page 15, so 23-1.
Yeah,
23-1E is owner held in trust used by a charitable organization primarily for a purpose giving relief or assistance to the aged, indigent, or sick persons to maximum of 0.81 hectare. And their stated objective that they had is set for relief of poverty. And it says, proceeds of the sales of the thrift store are used by MCC in its objectives addressing the basic human needs and working for peace and justice. And they also state this for disaster relief, sustainable community development, and justice and peace building.
okay, thank you.
All right, I have no questions, so Mr. Ducharme.
Thank you. I guess first, in response to the previous board decisions, I was also personally involved in the probably a 511 Selkirk that requested the same thing, same organization, which was not approved. The department's position on thrift stores is that they are for-profit operations to raise funds. It's the department's position that unless the care is being provided to the sick and indigent on site at that location, then it does not qualify for the exemption under this section of the Act. This dates back to a Court of Queen's Bench decision from 1982 by Mr. Justice Morse. Justice Morse recognized that in order to qualify for the exemption, the land and buildings must be used exclusively for the purposes of giving relief or assistance to the aged, sick, or indigent. And this has been the position that we've advanced on all thrift stores in Winnipeg. Thank you.
Okay, do you have that decision? I mean, because the devil's in the details in a lot of these.
It was in, the decision was done in chambers. I have a copy of the, I guess the order, but the decision itself was in chambers.
Okay, but I meant the court case you referred to.
Yes, I got a copy of the Queen's from the Queen's Bench, a partial copy of it. Yeah.
Okay, but it wasn't provided to us.
No. I have the evidence here, I could forward.
I think that would provide value to the board in this instance. And it's not, being that it's a court case, it would not be counted as evidence, but per se, it's a previous decision. So if you could forward that, we would certainly appreciate the guidance.
Yeah. It'll take a few minutes for that scan to come through.
Okay.
Can I ask a question of Mr. Dupont?
Sure.
So the part where it says in your presentation on page 16 is owned and held in trust and used for a charitable organization primarily for the purpose of relief to the aged, indigent, or sick persons. Where in MCC does it say that that's what they are doing? Do you have that evidence?
Yeah, but
Was
part of
that
the
in your
quote.
appendix? Where was that picture of the ladies that said the MCC thing? Is that what it said there? Like, do you have something from MCC that says that that's what their mission is? To work with the aged and whatever.
Is that on page 27?
But that doesn't say what matches the municipal board thing that he's presenting.
Yes.
That's why I'm asking.
The Government of Canada thing, page 14. So it was part of their application, and then it says ongoing programs relieving poverty by providing new and used donated goods via sale or gifting to low-income individuals. So they relieve poverty at the site itself by providing new and used donated goods via sale or gifting to low-income individuals. And on top of that, they also take the profits they make to give elsewhere off the premises. It provides funding or assisting organizations or qualified donees, including MCC Manitoba.
So that's where in your page 15, where you say Eve is owned and held in trust and used by charitable or primarily for the purpose of giving relief or assistance to the aged, indigent, or sick persons. You're saying there that that's for people who need help.
Yeah, so that clause, it does not clearly state that it has to be given to indigent people at the site, which does make sense. So that if you had indigent people on the street and you went and helped them on the street, that you're providing the assistance. So that the assessor's interpretation is, it does not fit this particular, the clause. The clause, it says the property is owned by an organization and
Mhm.
that they use it for charitable purposes, for relief of the indigent, etc. It doesn't say it must be done on site, so that's a extreme limitation that's imposed by the assessor.
Mhm.
But part of their gifting and donation of the used goods to certain people, they're already low priced. So they do some relief at the site as well as off-site.
And when we're talking in with this Manitoba code here that you're quoting, is that for just people in Manitoba, or that gifting can be to other countries? It can be to anywhere.
There again, it does not specify.
Okay.
If they sent some of the funds to Mother Teresa, which I believe they have in the past, MCC have sent funds to Mother Teresa. That was part of one of their charities that they would support. So, but it's still the space is used for relief of the indigent, and we should not be taxing that. It doesn't say that it has to be on the premises or that has to be within the province. It doesn't say that.
Okay. So you're okay. I'm just having to think this through. So you're saying because they're getting donations of goods and selling them at a cheap price, that helps people who are poor to get what they need. Is that basically what you're saying? So that's where you
Yes.
get the indigent persons, even though anybody can go and purchase there, whether you're wealthy or not.
Yes, they
Okay.
don't disqualify people,
Right.
but they do recognize people that are indigent. They will
Right.
give it for free. They will donate
Okay.
for free. So
Okay.
they
Thank
do
you.
provide relief at the site, but most of it would be from the money they make in that they distribute to the indigent elsewhere off premises.
Right. Right. Okay.
How's it going with that decision, Belen?
It has been distributed.
Has been distributed?
Yeah, so everyone, if you guys can refresh your page and it will show up as item 4 rebuttal A&T. Item 3, sorry, item 3 rebuttal. Unless I mislabeled it again.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Just give me a second, Mr. Chair.
I don't see it yet.
I don't see it either, but do give me a second. I apologize for the inconvenience.
Yeah, no, it's there. I just
No, I still don't see it. Item 3 is introduction and adjournment.
It'll say item 3.
yeah, it's there.
Just bear with me. I'll get this set up. I apologize for the time. Okay, I've now located it. Just give me a second. Thanks so much.
I still haven't, so just hang on a sec.
No
Yeah, it'll
problem.
show up as being 3 minutes ago or roughly.
Yeah, I know. I don't see that. Oh, now I got it. Yep. Okay.
Okay. And if you
What happened here? I lost it.
That would be in 1 and 2 of that decision. They disallowed some kind of exemption. They don't say why.
yeah, I was just going to say reading it, it's very short and sweet. They don't give reasons.
Mhm.
They don't show what was applied.
And I believe this is before the present Municipal Assessment Act was enacted.
Right, and it doesn't say that has to be on the premises either.
Okay, Mr. Ducharme, on this this decision, is there anything you wish to say about this decision further?
No, I mean, this is all that I have, but as I mentioned, the decision was rendered in the chambers, that's why this is, this was as a result of this hearing.
Okay, is there anything further you'd like to add to your presentation?
No, I do not.
Okay, then Henry, do you have questions on Mr. Ducharme's presentation?
No, I don't.
Okay, Kent, do you have questions on Mr. Ducharme's presentation?
I don't have any questions at this time, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay, Diane,
I
any
have no
questions?
questions, thank you.
All right, let's do one more property then before a break. We'll do 625 Sergeant, item 4. So you can proceed on that, Mr. Ducharme.
Okay, thank you. The file number is 22-2332. Roll number is 130-413-02000. The address is 625 Sergeant. For the roll year 2023, with a reference date April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value 496,000. Parcel use is CMRST, zoning is C2. We have a leasable area of 2,352 square feet. Do you have a recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to 433,000 by decreasing the rent and increasing the cap?
Okay, what rental rate do you suggest?
1550, and the cap rate's changed from 7.20 to 7.45.
4-5. Okay. Mr. Dupont, how do you feel about this recommendation?
I had it open, our discussions before and I lost it, so. Okay, so I got it. So, recommending 433, is that correct?
Yes.
Yes, I accept.
All right. Any questions, Kent or Diane?
No, thank you.
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, I said we do one more property and take a break. So let's take a break till 10:20 and then come back. All right, so we will proceed on to 238 Lilac Street. So Mr. Ducharme, you can begin on this property.
Thank you. File number is 22-2025. The roll number is 120-229-03500. The address 238 Lilac Street. For the roll year 2023, with a reference date April 1st, 2021. The assessed value is 1,020,000, and this went out as land value. The parcel use is CMRST. The zoning is C2. The leasable area is 3,450 square feet. We have a recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to 696,000 using the income approach.
Is that the income approach you show on page 6?
Yes, that would be.
Okay, and Henry, how do you feel about that value?
I accept.
Okay. Just note that. Okay, any questions from the panel? Hearing none. Oh. Kent,
No,
did you?
sir.
No.
No
Okay.
questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Let's move on to 831. Gordon. So item 6, 831. Gordon, again, you can proceed, Mr. Ducharme.
Thank you. File numbers 22-2022. The roll number is 120-226-251-00. The address is 831 Gordon. For the roll year 2023, with a reference to April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value of $695,000. The parcel use is CMRST. Zoning is C2. We have a leasable area of 4,460 square feet. The recommendation, we have a recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to $652,000. And this was done by decreasing the rents.
And how do you feel about that value, Mr. DuPont?
I accept.
All right. Any questions?
No, sir.
Questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
All right. So 165 Osborne, give me a moment to open the files. All right, 165 Osborne, you can begin.
Thank you. File number 22-1927. Roll number 120-217-05100. The address is 165 Osborne Street. For the roll year 2023, with a reference date April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value of $635,000. The parcel use is CMRST. Zoning is C2. We have a leasable area of 2,271 square feet. And we have a recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to $478,000. And this was done by decreasing the rent.
And how do you feel about that value?
I accept.
All right, any questions?
No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, let me just note that. Okay, and then we go to item 857 Portage. So once again, Mr. Ducharme.
Thank you. File number 22-1262. Roll number 130-308-24000. The address 857 Portage Avenue. For the roll year 2023, with a reference date April 1st, 2021, we have an assessed value $1,114,000. The parcel use is CMRST. Zoning is C2. We have a leasable area of 4,965 square feet. Our recommendation is to maintain the 2023 assessed value. On page 2, We have a couple of aerial photos of the subject property at 857 Portage on the north side of Portage at the intersection with Home Street. On page 3, we have a few more photos of the subject property. The middle photo is facing Portage Avenue. The bottom photo is facing Home Street. Page 4, request for income information, and below that, the subject sales history. It sold in September on September 5th, 2019 for $1,050,000. Our records indicate that this was a valid arm's length open market transaction between unrelated parties. On page 5, we have our rent comparables. All the comparables are located in close proximity to the subject property and are in fact on the same street as the subject property. The mean net rent of the comparables is $18.05 per square foot. And the median is $18.19 per square foot, which is in support of our model rent at $18.79 per square foot. Page 6 is the subject property income summary. We have a total leasable area of 4,965 square feet, giving a potential rent of $93,313, vacancy of 6%, expenses at 3%, and a shortfall $7 per square foot, giving a net operating income of $82,998. We've applied a cap rate of 7.45%, giving an estimated value of $1,114,000 rounded. On page 7 is our capitalization rate chart. You'll note the 7.45% rate applied is above the high end for retail for all reports. Page 8, the Municipal Act Assessment Act excerpts. And pages 9 and 10, what we received back in regards to the 2020 income and expense mailers, which was the COVID questionnaire. And that would conclude my presentation. Thank you.
Questions, Mr. Dupont?
Yeah, the rents that you use, would you agree that the actual rents are lower than those rents that you have used?
That the rents are lower. No, I believe these are not true rents.
So where do you show the actual rents?
Are you referring to the comparables or
The subject rents.
subject? Or the subject property itself?
Yeah.
I did not include that in this comparable chart.
And there was a sale. You show it. Where do you show it?
Page 4, yes.
Uh, 2019, which is very close to the reference date. Did you work out a cap rate from that sale?
I did not work out a cap rate for that sale.
The leases in place that there is as of April 2021, were all the same tenants were there at the time of sale. Is that correct?
The subject property, yes.
So to your knowledge, have the rents been increased since the sale?
I don't know. I don't believe so.
That's all questions I have.
Oh, Kent, any questions?
Have you inspected this property recently?
No, I haven't recently. No.
Has there been any renovations done to the property at all that you're aware of? Is there any permits out for this
No.
property?
No, nothing of significance, recent, no.
You posted it at a 7.45% cap rate, which I think is on the high end for retail properties. How did you come up with that, or is that just model driven?
Yeah, it is model driven, yes.
Okay. That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
So the picture on page 3, is this property the property with the 3 tenants, or just because I,
Yes.
yeah, okay. All right, that's all I need to know, because the other rest of my questions were asked. Thank you.
All right, and I have no questions, so Mr. Dupont.
My submission, what we're asking for page 1 is the sale price, 2019 sale price. One of the tenants is only paying, I think, $7 a square foot. So we have some low rent, so that doing strictly income approach, we would not necessarily come to the sale price. But we showed the aerial map, page 8, and then photos. And we believe we just asked for the sale price. We don't have income approach per se. And that's our submission. Thank you.
All right, questions, Mr. Ducharme?
Just I guess on page. Yeah, 21, 20, this is the 2021 submission for income and expense, I guess. Yeah. It's not the 2020.
Oh, the questionnaires that I have is, you're asking what year it is?
Yeah.
That December 21 is what I gave, yeah.
Okay, I did. Sorry. Okay, I have no questions.
Okay, Kent, questions?
My question is, do we know the rents for the other tenants, or do we just only know the one tenant?
No, we have the 3 tenants on page 22.
Page 22?
Yeah, so that meats and groceries at $696.50 that he has there. That's $674 per square foot. It's on the low end. So we would, and it's an old lease, we'd have to plug in market rents. So I could have plugged in market rents to the point where he matches the sale price. And I decided just to go with the sale price.
Have you inspected the property at all?
No.
Do you know what kind of condition it's in?
No, I think it would be relatively good. The grocery store has been occupying since 2009, so I would think that they have not done any improvements since then. H&R Block has been there since 1998, so I would think there've been very little improvements since then. They may, upon renewals, may have changed the carpeting a little bit. So it did not start in bad conditions. I would think the finish is relatively old because the tenants have been there for a long time.
What was the parking like for those businesses? Just street parking?
Yeah, there's very little parking in the back, 3-4 parking in the back. So I would think that the businesses likely take those parking in the back, and then the clients have to park on the street.
That's all my questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, Diane, any questions?
So the questionnaire is on page 21 and 22. You made a comment saying that you adjusted the rent to make it work for the sale price. So did you complete these questionnaires?
No. I said that the meat and grocery is only paying $674. So if I were to have a value to equate to the sale price, I could increase the rent to the point where I meet the sale price.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay,
Uh,
now I get it.
so the assessor has some higher rents.
Mhm.
The actual rent, some of the scald copy, I believe, is $15, and the assessor has some higher rents, and then the other one is at $674, something like that. I said.
Okay,
So it's we have to plug in market rent. So I did not. I didn't go to the exercise of plugging in market rents. If you get comparables, it's very hard to match, etc., etc. So I just said, well, let's just use the sale price.
so my other question would be, the sale price in 2019, are you saying that he overpaid for the building? Because if it's still the same value today, or as of 2021, you're saying he overpaid for that building?
No, I'm going with that sale price.
Okay,
I'm saying that the tenants have been the same all along. They haven't raised their rents yet. As of December 2021, the rents have not been increased. And so we're going with the sale price. We're saying it did not
Okay.
it did not increase in value.
all right, I gotcha. Thank you.
All right, again, on the questionnaire, it's labeled as 12 months ending December 31st, 2021, but yet it's also said due date in May of 2021. So it's kind of a bit of a conflict there, is there not? So perhaps that should be 12 months ending 2020?
Ah, okay, yeah, because if they fill it in May 21, cannot be December.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe that's why I included it, because that's all we had for 2020. So
yeah. And it's also labeled as gross rents on the first page, but then they don't show any other recoverables on the next page. So and they show an NOI of 91,518, which equals the gross rent. So it's really unclear whether that's the gross or net.
yeah,
rent.
yeah. I just look at my file, and it's the assessor shows it as the IE for 2020. So
Okay.
like you said, because the due date is May 2021, so it appears that 12/31/2021 is an error.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's listed as the 2020 questionnaires by the city.
I think the due date should be 2022. This is the wrong year submitted here.
Your submission does not show a 2020 questionnaire.
They only sent the COVID.
Okay, anyhow, yeah. All right. I guess the city's valuation is like only 6% higher, and is that an unreasonable increase in value from 2019 to 2021? Almost a year and a
Yeah.
half.
I don't think we can do that. Many properties don't change in value. They have the same tenants, etc. We would value it the same as before. Many properties at the municipal board, the board of revision, that is, would have the same value as the prior year. So there's no particular statistic says that it should go up by 5% or whatever percentage. They bought the property, the leases have not changed. So I believe this property, the sale price is the best indicator of value. It's not a big case, like you say, but I believe the assessor's value is not supported.
Okay. Thank you for that. Then we'll go to our last property then, which is 1110 Portage.
Sorry.
741.
Oh,
We're
sorry.
on item 9 next.
741 Portage. Yes, I'm I'm ahead of my time. For some reason, I had scratched it off already. Probably that reason is lack of intelligence.
Yeah. I don't agree.
All right, on 741, Mr. DePere.
Okay, thank you. File number is 22-865. The roll number is 130-404-55000. The address is 741 Portage Avenue. The parcel for the roll year 2023 with a reference date April 1st, 2021. We have an assessed value of 690,000. The parcel use is CMRST, zoning C2. We have a leasable area of 1,806 square feet. A recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to 516,000. And this was done by decreasing the rent and increasing the vacancy.
Pardon me, the number again, 500 and,
516.
thank you.
All right, and Mr. DuPont, how do you feel about that value?
I accept.
Okay, I'll just note that in my. All right, see, I knew this one wouldn't take long, so that's why I skipped over it.
Yeah.
Okay, now we come to our last property, 1110 Portage. Yeah, proceed.
Okay, thank you. File number 22-3232. Roll number 120-809-94000. The address is 1110 Portage for the roll year 2023. A reference date April 1st, 2021. We have an assessed value 663,000. Parcel use is CMRST. Zoning is C2. We have a leasable area of 6,400 square feet. A recommendation to decrease the 2023 assessed value to 587,000 by decreasing the rent.
All right, and Mr. DuPont, how do you feel about that value?
I accept.
Okay. Any questions from the panel on that?
Oh, thank you.
Was that 582,000 or was it
587.
587? Thank you. Thanks very much. No questions, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
All right, so we have heard all the items scheduled today, and this hearing is now adjourned. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for your presentations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye. Thanks.
Yep. Say,
Thanks.
Henry, they got you doing commercial.